What's the password?
I believe it's shit cup.
Shit cup. How are the characters? Are there any capitals or anything?
I think it's a pooping monkey.
Pooping monkey. That's an emoticon, but you're right. Okay. I know you're safe to talk to. Hello.
We cracked the code.
We sure did. Hi, this is Rob.
And this is Zeke.
Holy cow, you did it the normal way.
I know. I thought I'd give it a shot. You know, a lot has transpired since our last podcast, so I thought I'd shake it up a little bit.
It's been a little bit.
It has, and since that time, since our last casting, you have been in South Dakota. I have been a few places, but among them was Wyoming. You know, we had to do some. I don't know if most people know this, but our podcast is done using 2 Campbell's cans.
Yeah.
And we had to do
really
some string maintenance.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had some string that was down, and we got it fixed.
Yeah. Do you know about, is Barry okay? He's the guy that lays all of our string for us. How's he doing?
I have not heard from Barry. I know that we were going to try to spring and get an extra can for him.
Yeah.
But I didn't get around to that, and his communication has since transpired. So
transpired? Do you mean expired?
That one. I mean
That's
that
the
one.
one. I'm sure he's fine.
he'll be okay.
I mean, I gave him an empty soup can and a lighter, so that's all you need.
I was gonna spring for loaning him the poop cup for the road, but that didn't happen.
We need that.
Yeah, I know. He's not to our level yet,
have that.
and I made sure he realized that.
Yeah, good. Take him down a notch.
Yeah, I mean, he's got yards and miles of yards of manual labor in front of him to string that yarn, so he's got to spin it good.
I can't wait to talk to that guy. He's so great.
You got to have some stories after a trip like that.
For sure. Maybe he'll be on the show someday. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if we can fit him in.
What is it? What is this about you being in Wyoming? What?
Yes, I was in Wyoming. Actually, shortly after I saw you in South Dakota, and we'll get to the reason you were in South Dakota. But yes, I was in Wyoming in tent sleep. I was there for 16 hours, and then I got out of Dodge.
So let me get this straight.
Tent sleep.
You traveled for about 12, 13 hours to get to tent sleep. You're there.
It was like 11, yeah.
That's what I said, 10 or 12. Take the average. Jesus. And you're there for 16 hours, and you don't come see your buddy Rob? That's 8 hours away?
Yeah, that's exactly it. I remember thinking, I was like, you know what, I could probably see Rob. And then I was like, nah.
Could have came out here for, I don't know, half hour. And then
yeah, I could have seen you for the length of a podcast and moseyed on down. I don't know why I didn't do that now that I think of it, but
shame.
Maybe next time.
Shame.
I shun the shame. Yep.
Well, where else did you go?
Then I was in Texas a couple days after that, and now I'm up in Minnesota.
Texas.
So I've put on about 4,000 miles since the last I saw you.
That's a healthy amount of miles.
Yeah, and it's been, 25 days since we were last in the same vehicle. So 4,000 miles since then.
I gotta say, it's kind of weird that you're keeping track of how many days it's been since you've seen me. That's the first thing.
To be fair, and I'll let you get to your second thing. Yeah. The only reason I need to keep track of that is because I see you every day. But that was the last time since I saw you in person.
You got a little thing in the microwave.
I do. I monitor you through the microwave.
Watching that tin can spark away.
I just think it's astonishing the amount of SpaghettiOs that you waste so that you can chew on the tin can. When we could have easily given one of those to Barry.
Fuck Barry. He's got moss licking. Lick a rock, man. Lick a rock.
I'm sure. He's taken survival classes, probably.
Probably, right. Yeah. I'm sure.
And I'm sure he'll figure out the conduit to attach that third string to our tin can podcast. So it'll be fine.
It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
Just want everyone to know he will be fine. So you were in Texas. It's a little curious. You didn't happen to go to the Astrodome, did you?
To watch the real-time documentary of Brewster McCloud.
Cut the shit, Hanson. You went down there to find Brewster because you wanted to give him a hug because you loved him so much and you wanted him to fly you away on his wings he made.
He's my mentor, and I'm taking classes from him to build my wax wings so I can fly them through an environment that has no skylight in it and try to run away from a clown posse band. Yes, you discovered my secret. And also, the hatred is still alive and well.
I don't even know you anymore. I was making a joke, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh.
You discovered the truth by accident.
Oh, you know what? No sky? Posse of clowns? Are they insane?
Not enough to make that movie worth watching a second time.
What? Oh, Brewster. Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm positive. I am.
I thought you were talking about an insane clown posse movie, and I thought, I don't know. Zeke's pretty. Zeke's a joke.
At the end of that movie, wasn't there like a weird?
Yeah, there was a carnival. There was a carnival. I don't know if ICP made an appearance. I think they might have been a bit young at the time, but
maybe one of them made it in there, and that's what inspired the band.
True or false? You're a juggalo.
False.
Why were you spraying Faygo all over me when I was in South Dakota?
In fuego? That's Spanish for fire.
You know it. Faygo, it's a soft drink, and they spray it on their fans for some reason. And you were doing that to me, like a real juggalo.
Because I felt like you were a dirty, dirty boy.
So I needed to get sticky.
Yep.
Okay.
And then I listened to Pour Some Sugar on Me. So.
And then you did it. Only you poured it.
And then I did it.
Poured it on me, I guess.
Yep, you're welcome. What's not to love?
You were telling me on the telephone about some clay.
Oh yes.
Let's
down in
hear
Texas,
about this clay. Yeah.
We were down there for a friend's wedding, and like a
to
childhood
see Brewster
friend.
McCloud,
Yeah. Brewster McCloud was getting married.
He is. Oh my
to
gosh,
Maud.
that's wonderful.
It was a little weird, but it worked out.
She's really old now.
He's a necromancer, so it worked out.
Cool. Didn't know that.
On a lot of levels.
They didn't touch on that in the movie. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, it was cut short. It's deleted. Director's edition. You gotta watch it again. Commentary.
Okay, I will.
Anyway, down there, and to be honest, like this is not a joke. The first time they told me that we had to watch for this on the road, I thought that they were saying Khaleesi.
What's that?
And like Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones, and I was like, let's go find her.
I'm not familiar.
We're trying to avoid it.
I'm not familiar.
Anyway, it works out because it's not really what you were looking for, and you wouldn't have missed it. Yeah, your ghostwriter will have to fill you in because he knows exactly who she is.
Okay, if you say so.
Anyway, down there it's called caliche, and it's like if you were to mix the kind of clay you would run into on the bottom of a lake, if you were to mix that with concrete. So when it gets wet, it's like just this glue. But when it dries, it's literally like chunks of concrete laying in the road that fall off from trucks while it's wet, and then it dries, and they're like landmines. And anyway, we're down there. My dad and my mom and my brother and I are all packed into the car. It's got and we're all packed into the car, and it's got a low center of gravity. And Dad swerves to hit one clump and just squares off squaw on this other one, and it just crushes the transmission plate. So we were stranded on the road for about an hour waiting for AAA, who did finally show up, thank God. But we were only 11 miles from the hotel when it happened, and we were less than a mile from pavement, so it was just like insult to injury.
How long had you been driving?
About a half hour, so it wasn't bad. But it was just like literally just boom, and that was it. Like all steering controls are gone.
And that's when you hit some lady?
That's when we hit Daenerys Targaryen. Yep.
Oh gosh, that sounds bad.
Yep.
Oh. She okay?
It wasn't. No, she's not. But there was a ditch nearby, and she wasn't wearing anything anyway. So.
Well, you should probably tell her nephew or something she's okay, or not okay, whatever.
We sent word by carrier dragon. So
Carrier dragon, cool.
Yep.
So these trucks are made out of some lady or this caliphate?
Caliphate. Yes. No. The roads are made out of caliche, or they're not made out of it, but it's their version of gravel down there.
Oh.
So.
Wow, it sounds like fun. Sounds like you had a great trip.
It's a good time.
And how's Brewster and his new bride?
They'll be happy forever, or at least until she dies. So.
That's good. Shout out to. Never mind. I can't remember what. Cousin Pants. That's it. Cousin Pants.
Oh, Cousin Pants.
Hey, Cousin Pants. How are you? Hope you're listening. Just had to throw that in there. Sorry.
He did not come along on the Texas journey, but I'll be seeing him here in a couple weeks, I'm sure.
Where was Pants?
Where I don't. He did not know my grade school friend that got married, so he was not born yet, and then because of that, he decided not to jump into a sardine can for 850 miles.
I mean, I love Cousin Pants, but that seems like a kind of a mean decision,
Well, you didn't come either, so.
Well, I didn't know you were going to meet Brewster McCloud, for crying out loud.
Well, that's true. I didn't tell you that because until today, I didn't think he'd find out that I was secretly training with him like an assassin.
Guy did a lot
Death from above. That's what the camp is called. Death from above.
Death from above. Oh. I don't know, man. Do you think he can do that many pull-ups like that? He did a lot of pull-ups.
A lot of weird things happen in that room. I'm going to go with so when I do my pull-ups, I do not have a friend under a blanket. And
the gal from Sisters, yeah.
Yeah, and I do not do them in my underwear. But I
it's more like a Speedo, like a really...
Yeah. I do not know if I can do as many pull-ups as Brewster.
I'm glad I remember what he looked like when he was doing those pull-ups.
Well, it's ingrained in your mind.
It is.
Yeah, I think we've given people our listeners a lot of reason to watch that film. I hope they take us up on it.
I do think we make it sound so bad that it must be fun or something. But again, we've said it before. Do not watch Brewster McCloud, everyone.
No. Don't even stumble across it on late night.
Nope.
Old TV.
I don't think amount of alcohol or any other substance is going to help.
There's no way to making it a drinking game. It can't happen.
No.
But I mean, before I was in Wyoming and before I was in Texas and before I was in Minnesota, you were in South Dakota. What were you doing in South Dakota?
Secret stuff. I don't want you to know about it.
I don't know about it.
Okay. I went to a film festival. It was...
Tell me more.
Sure. It's the first drive-in film festival in the country.
It's the second.
The second? One of three, is that correct?
One of three, but it was the second, yeah.
I thought it was the first. I thought the other one lost by like a week.
The third one lost by a week, but the first one had been around for a little bit.
Well, I've been going around here telling lies.
Well, keep telling them.
All right, anyways.
Hopefully they come.
This guy I know, Zeke Hansen.
Sounds like a jerk.
Yeah, he is. He started a really cool drive-in movie film festival, and I came back to see the festival, support him, see some friends, my family. But, the film festival was awesome. It was incredible.
It was a good trip. No, I appreciate you coming back. It was awesome.
Was indeed.
We wrapped up year 2, and if any of our listeners are filmmakers, as well as Weird Podcast listeners, we encourage you to submit your films next year. We'll
For sure.
open January 1st.
And if you're not a filmmaker, just come and see it. It's in Laverne, Minnesota. It's admission's really cheap. It was $5 this year. It could change. Who knows? Still cheap for an evening of movies. I mean...
Yeah, and actually, while we were there, Rob, because he's on top of things, interviewed a couple people who are also filmmakers. And so we're going to do a special independent podcast release. We'll introduce it, but you'll be able to hear some other local filmmakers who had films showing at the Dancing Spider, as well as their podcast creators as well for content. And they'll be able to talk a little bit about how you can listen to what they're up to.
Yeah, for sure. I'll plug Brozanne, and I will plug Chaos Reigns. Check them out. Yeah. I got stuck in the mud the other day.
Did you? Were you?
I don't know why I said the other day. It was yesterday.
Did you total your car?
No, well, it was a government vehicle. Almost became a thing, but luckily it did not.
That is fortunate. So,
Yeah.
Because podcasts are not visual, our listening base does not know that you have been picking fights with badgers. When you were stuck in the mud, did the badger come back?
Yeah, I was in the same area.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that seems like something that would happen to you. Is like, hey, bitch, I'm back.
Who's
laughing now?
I've been burrowing. Just so the listeners know, I sent Zeke a video of me taunting a badger. There was a badger, and I was just saying, hey, you chicken, come get some, that kind of thing. I mean, it got one good look at me. I mean, Zeke, you can attest. You saw the video. Ran away.
It did not give two fucks of what you were up to that day.
It did not.
It was busy, I don't know what they eat, looking for grubs or larvae. And it was Rob's just taunting it from about 15 feet away and did not care at all.
No, I really... I mean, you've seen me. I'm a big, strong, brave guy, you know. Badger.
Well, I assume you had your bunion axe over your shoulder. So
I had a Pulaski.
Yeah, nice. So I don't know I don't know brands of axes and all that stuff, but I came across one at a tool shop of sorts the other day. I've been in several, and I don't remember which one it was, but they had one called Death Sticks, and that sounds like the one you want to have at your side.
What it looks like?
It has like one side's a little hatchet, and the other side is like a pike hammer.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
It sounds like a death stick.
Yeah, I guess it does. So you're counting the days since we've seen each other in person. You've seen me every day, and you're going to lots of tool shops looking at things called death sticks. Do I need to be worried?
I would look to the sky, my little friend.
Oh, God, he's got
because Brewster's going to guide me home.
You went, I didn't even connect that dot. You went to goddamn Texas.
Story's out. Coming for you.
Bring it on.
Can't wait. I'm sure I can soar. Like, what is it? It's a bearded... I'll be a bearded vulture. A bearded vulture in I think it's like native to Afghanistan.
You're making
They have a little goatee on them, and they can they eat marrow, so they soar like 200 miles with one flap of their wings. That's what I'm gonna do with Brewster's
because
wings. I'm 4 flaps away.
Suck down some marrow.
To the marrow.
And because very good, very good. Are you sure it's a goatee and not a Fu Manchu?
I think it's up to the stylist.
The vulture stylist, yes, of course.
The vulture stylist, yeah.
I mean,
they all. I don't know if it's a little known fact, but when you see them all congregated in trees like that, that's just a barber tree. That's the kind of you probably run into those out in Wyoming. Yeah. So they're getting their hair done.
It's funny. I thought you were talking about a barber chair, which is something that happens when you cut trees down. But you're talking to just a regular old tree. It's a barber tree.
Barber tree.
Yeah,
it's a barber tree.
Yep.
What's a barbature?
It's when you, man. If anybody listens to this and actually knows, they're gonna be mad. It's when
no one listens.
You're cutting down. It's true. Hey, all 5 of you.
Yeah.
Correct me.
Except you.
I dare you to correct me. It's when you cut down a tree, and instead of like a clean stump, you'd get like a piece of wood that sticks up the back. So it would just like be a shard.
It's a death stump.
Yeah, it's like a death stump, but the barber chair, because you could sit on the one part of it, and then you'd lean against the back part that's you should have cut off.
Oh, I got you. Have you ever barber chaired?
No, I have yet to. Oh boy, I can't wait till I find one of these barber chairs. I'm cut it down, stupid vultures.
They're just wondering what they're going to do all day. I mean,
well, I can think of something we can do.
Can you?
Mm-hmm. Do you want to know something else really fun?
I do.
I wrote a theme song. Do you want to hear it?
I desperately want to hear it.
Here goes. You ready?
Yeah, lay down a thick beat.
Okay. Zeke, how are you? It's time for the next segment. Zeke a week. That's the name of the next segment. Gonna talk about some movies we just watched this past week. Just a second. I kind of forgot how it went.
See, I don't understand. So some people, when they're alone in the woods, decide to build bombs. When this whole time they could just be coming up with theme songs for our podcast.
Here comes the next segment. It is called Zeke a Week. Gonna talk about a movie.
I like
okay,
it.
wait. I do remember one part. It was like Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town's the name of the movie we just watched. Is it good or is it bad? Let's just find out right now. Zeke. Now do your thing. Beautiful. I mean, I think we nailed it.
Oh, I think so. I think we definitely kept our listening. We like Nielsen ratings are gonna peak this week.
Oh, good old.
Peak this week was Zeke a week.
Barry Nielsen, our guy. He's rating us.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, we got here from the first frog, not frogs. Frog.
Right.
We followed Hal Sparks to Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town.
That is correct.
And I gotta tell you, from the title, I was shocked that this was not an Academy Award winner.
Just from the title, you were expecting.
Just from the title, I was expecting, a lot of good things.
Yeah.
There were 2 trivia notes, and neither one of them were this swept.
That is surprising.
Yeah. So that's I'll tell our listeners what the first thing on the screen was, and then you can take it from there. So the first thing to appear on the screen is in text form: "Life's a bitch, and then you die."
It's very true.
The film kept on going from there. That was not the end.
It's funny that a movie wouldn't end after one title.
After the opening credits?
Yeah, that's funny.
I'm not sure that it would have hurt it.
You don't say.
Go ahead and take it from there on that upbeat note.
Listening to these, I do think we don't really talk about the movies. I think let's give a little brief synopsis. There's Chopper Chicks, right? Yeah, that's no surprise.
So there are 8 women on bikes.
You counted them. I didn't. I would have said 10 or 12.
I think it is.
Maybe
I think
11.
it's 8. I'm not positive, but I think it is 8. Their biker jackets, their vests, whatever you call them, say either cycle or cyclo sluts. I'm not sure which one it was.
I would imagine cycle. I don't know why cyclo.
I thought it was cycle, but then when they gave them away at the end, it looked like they couldn't spell. So I don't know.
These were very educated ladies, I'm sure.
Yeah. And they were very horny the whole movie. They kept yelling meat, and it becomes very relevant that as you go on that they are illiterate, like me.
Unliterate.
And then they're not talking about eating. So those are the 2.
Oh, what were they talking about? I
guess
I missed that. No.
About meat. They were talking about meat.
But they're not.
In fact,
they're
one
not
woman follows it to her death. Just an odd death. And there's a lot of things scientifically. I mean, not that zombies are scientific in any way, but there's a lot of things anatomically that just don't make any sense. Like one guy was blown up by a hand grenade
several times,
and then he was run over by a car, and then I think he was shot, but I think he was still alive at the end. I don't know.
I mean, I said let's give a synopsis that you're diving right in.
I'm jiving right in. You go. Okay, you give the synopsis.
This guy, he's juking, he's jiving right in.
Jive.
Chopper Chicks. They come to the town. What's the name of the town?
Zariah, which the population when we start is 128. It's written in chalk.
Yep. Anyways, there's a mad scientist, I guess, is what he is, and he's creating zombies. And
he's a mad scientist who is the local mortician.
Yeah, right. So I guess he kills the people, and then when he embalms them, he makes them into zombies. He puts a little orb in their head, yeah?
So he collects the blood for some reason. and they crave warm blood. But then he uses them in a mine to mine some sort of radium out, and
radium,
then they give it to him,
radium.
and then he drills into their head, and he uses it as a battery to power them.
Makes
and
sense,
first things first, like the guy's name, his character name is Willem, and in my experience, if you're looking for a murderer or a lead suspect and his name is Willem, he did it. It's him.
Willem?
Willem.
What about Defoe?
No, just Willem. Willem did it.
So if they don't have what about other people with no last names?
They usually did it too, or they die early.
What about Prince?
He did it.
He did, didn't he?
He did.
I'm trying to give a synopsis, and you just keep going off on tangents.
I'd like to say it's going to stop, but you keep continuing.
I'm going to try it really fast. They go to town. The townsfolk don't like him. Mad scientist, mortician, he's killing them. I'm confused, really, if he kills them all or what. They mine radium. It eventually gets... Oh, they all have sex with the local townsfolk. Meat means... wang dang doodle. I'm sorry to say that on the air. So they're all doing... I had to close my eyes for a long time. And then...
that makes it sound like there was nudity.
No.
There was no nudity.
Surprisingly, no. But I wouldn't know because I had my eyes shut because they were... And then the zombies... Oh, there's a school of... There's a bus of blind kids that are there for some reason.
No, there's a busload of blind
kids. And they're
orphans.
all blind orphans, yep. And that's where our Link is, our good old buddy.
Yeah, Hal Sparks is one of the blind orphan children.
Yeah. And for
who operates an Uzi.
Which is really... And they show them briefly, and then they're not shown for like 45 minutes, and you kind of forget about them, and then they're there again, and then they disappear again for 45 minutes, and you forget about them, and then they're there at the end. Anyways, the zombies, they break loose because a little kid let them out because he thought a zombie was his dad. They kill the kid. Biker chicks saving blind kids, killing zombies. That's it. Did I nail it?
You did. I'm gonna make a few notes in there, but first, before I get to that, what was your favorite part of this movie?
The lead. Two parts come to mind. The leader of the biker gang, she says,
the bull dyke.
Yeah, she admits that, folks. He's not just being a.
No, like she
says
talks
I'm the
about
bull
being
dyke,
proud of it. Yeah.
She says, "Don't cross me, babe." At the beginning. And I kind of forgot I was going to say that a lot to you this episode, but at least I remember now so I can keep saying it. And then the other one is when the zombies first come out, it's right at the blind kid orphan bus, and this one gal, she says, "We got to save them." She just like...
She rides to her death.
Yeah, she literally just like rides to the back of the bus, hits something, slides under...
It was not aiming for the door.
No, she
wasn't killing people as she went.
She didn't think it through, Zeke. Give her a break.
And then her co-writers, I mean, they just watched her do it and then decided we're going to go in and get them too.
Well, they had to avenge her.
It was not good.
No.
So there were a couple lines that I did like. The first line when they walk into the restaurant, when they're like, "We don't accept your kind here." I'm not entirely sure. I think they're referring to them as women.
Yeah.
Like, "We don't accept your kind here."
Could have been.
One of them said, "Cool. What color is your Jello?" Or "What color is the Jello?" I don't really know. It seemed like a line that I didn't understand.
Yeah. I closed my ears for that part. It sounds dirty.
One of the blind kids. And maybe this is a real thing. He had like a sundial watch, and it was trying to tell what time it was by like feeling the shadow. I'm not familiar with like a blind.
It's a braille sundial watch. You're saying?
Yes.
I missed that somehow. I really did.
It was very brief, and I was like, why would you care what time it is? It's dark out for all you know. Like. And then,
you jerk.
Well, like they were just that whole scene was insane because they were working on the bus. Their benevolent leader who just disappears randomly because they locked him out of the bus and he was absorbed by zombies. Yep. They locked him out, but he's trying to fix the bus for the orphan blind kids, and then one of them wanders off and finds the mine, and then wanders back, but he's on the bus. And this was all like, this was a disjointed scene, but it was all one scene. And so they were just out like feral children. And then another fun line was, "Nice box. You could pick up anything with that." And he was talking about a boom box. And then I liked when the Willem was on a tirade.
Our boy Willem.
These dead bodies. Our boy Willem was like ranting at these dead bodies on how people are gonna say he's taken it too far. In that he was driven by the pursuit of knowledge and immortality. I felt like that was his best line of the whole film.
God bless.
But my favorite character in there was Bob, little Bob.
Yeah, there was a little person.
And he was, I couldn't quite figure out why he liked the chopper chicks, because one of them had been homecoming queen.
Yeah.
So he didn't shoot her like he was told to. And then at the end of the movie, he gets to drive away the orphan hearse. So the blind kids move from an orphan bus to an orphan hearse.
Moving on up, aren't they?
Driven by like, it's steered by little Bob, but it's the brake and the gas pedal are pushed by one of the blind kids. So I'm sure they're out there. They're fine.
Maybe they'll run into our buddy Barry.
Maybe they will. But I gotta say, my favorite part of this movie was the fact that the director was Dan Hoskins.
Mm-hmm.
This was the second movie that he wrote.
Yep.
First movie that he directed, the only film. Like, his career stopped after this movie.
Yep.
And I love that. I thought that was the best.
That's mean. You're mean.
Well, it was a horrible movie.
A little more enjoyable, though.
Yeah, it was a step up from Brewster, and probably Frog for you too. But I'm glad that they called it Chopper Chicks in Zombie Town and not Chrome Hearts like it was written
Chrome
to be
Hearts.
called. That's what they were going to call it.
Chrome Hearts. That doesn't make any sense. Because Chrome bicycle or motorcycle.
Right, but they're not like there's not a lot of love going on in this movie. It was
There's some
pretty
love
early for.
on.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay, all right, but it was really early career for Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, Billy Bob.
I think it was even before Sling Blade. So
I would imagine it probably was.
It was before Tombstone. So.
Oh, I thought of a funny part. When they're all getting their meat, one of them just runs into this, like, I guess he's a nerd or something. He's just sitting on a couch watching TV, and then his mom comes back. The lady that he just boned walks out the door. She walks in, sees him on
gives her a sly smile.
Yep, the biker did. Mom walks in, says, "I'm glad." Did she say, "I'm glad you're not a virgin," or at least you get?
Yeah.
Glad you're not a virgin anymore. And then she checks his pulse or if he's breathing or something, and walks away.
Yeah, she was also, yeah. He hadn't moved. I'm not sure that what happened in there was legal in all 50 states, but he didn't move even after she checked his pulse.
She really had her way with him. I mean, I don't think he.
Yeah.
He might
So
that
same mother is the one that paid them the money at the end, and then they just threw it into the air at the end of the movie.
Man, they're really humanitarians. Just we don't need this stuff.
Well, littering will get you a $800 fine.
And then they're gonna regret. Good point. Yeah. Oh, and our good old buddy, what's his name? Harold. Errol. Shit. There's that actor. He was in Boondock Saints. He has the same name.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem gets away. So there hasn't been.
Was it him at the end?
Oh yeah, wandering off into the desert. So I don't know if there is a sequel.
Well, what doesn't make any sense about all of that? Like, he kind of went full zombie mode, but he didn't put a battery into his own head.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, I think he was just surviving. I think glance.
Just walking like a zombie.
Little shrapnel got him when he.
Yeah. when he landed on that grenade that Bob threw at him.
The shot was, just a flesh wound. He was in the... Oh, that's a funny part. Zeke was alluding to it earlier, but a zombie is like giving old Willem...
meat.
Taking care of his meat with her mouth in a freezer. Anyways, he gets away at the end. So, I mean, fingers crossed, there could be a sequel.
Only if you make it, my friend. I think the rights would be pretty cheap.
Don't tempt me.
Also, our friend Booga, the store shop keep, who rides away with him at the end on the back of TC's bike. He is the same guy that Tom Hanks rides in the car of in Turner and Hooch, that film that...
Get out of town.
Watch?
That we sort of... Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, same guy.
Well, at least somebody's career wasn't ended by this, huh?
Right.
We got two. We got Billy Bob and we got...
Booga. I don't remember his real name. His character name's Booga. Boogo. Booger. I don't know. Something. He was graffitiing his own shop in the film, so I don't know.
And then he says to this lady, one of the biker chicks, "Hey, you want to come to my house later and listen to records or something?" And then she says, "You got a back room or something?" And then they went and they did a bad thing. Zeke.
And then he gives her the finger.
That's right. Ah, you're dirty. You're a dirty boy. I should close my ears talking to you.
Well, no, he just, come closer kind of finger, that's all.
Come closer, Jesus Christ. I would just like to make a quick mention. This is a trauma movie, famous for Surf Nazis Must Die, Toxic Avenger, Sergeant Kabuki Man, I believe it's called. I think Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
I think they were still getting their legs underneath them on this one.
Yeah, they must have been. Anyways, it's a famous exploitation movie house. So yeah, if you're into trauma movies, I guess you can get a little entertainment out of this. Let's see, Zeke, what did you pay? What are you rating it?
I found it on YouTube, and I would rate it for free. That's what I would have paid for it.
I went to. You would pay for free? Is that what you said?
I would pay a free price for it. Yes.
Fair enough. I called Troma and I had them send me a copy of it on 9mm, so they had to convert it from 24 or 32
like
or whatever.
PAL version.
That cost $200, and then I had to rent out a
laserdisc converter.
Yeah, and that was another $50, so that's $250, and then I had to rent out my own personal theater. That was $500.
I'm pretty sure I sent you the Facebook link or the YouTube link.
I didn't get it. So that's $750. They didn't have the right projector, so I had to buy one. That was $1,000. So I paid $1,750, and I'm
pretty sure that people didn't make that much money from this movie. And how much would you pay? I
would probably pay. Let's see, $1,750. I'd probably pay $1,286 for this.
That is a bold-faced lie.
I'm quite sure I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
So I would pay free, and you would pay... I'm pretty sure you paid free.
I paid $1,286 out of $1,750. So, that's like a... I don't know, that's like a 6 out of 10 or so.
Oh, that's significantly better than that, I think. All of our movies combined haven't added up.
Okay, you're right. Let me scale that back. I would have paid $432.
Get out of town. Don't start with me, babe.
Don't cross me, babe. And then at the end she says, "I love you, babe," or she switched it.
I think she says, "Don't start with me, babe."
Okay, fair enough. Anyways, it was a callback. Don't cross me, babe, Zeke. Mm-hmm. Hey, I got a fun game. You want to play it?
I don't have a choice.
No, you sure don't. I was hoping to do this one with you when I was in South Dakota. We were going to try to podcast our first ever face-to-face, but it didn't work out.
No, it did not.
Anyways, since I was going to be around a friend, I was going to ask if you've met some of these other friends of mine. Mm-hmm. And this one's called, Have You Met My Friend? No, Have You Met? Let's change it to that. Have You Met Me? You watch How I Met Your Mother?
I watched some of it, yes.
Okay, well, people might know this. Anyways, have you met my friend Teriyaki? Loves stir fry.
I have met him or her.
He, yep.
He? Okay.
Yeah. Have you met Salmonella? Thing about this guy, he never cooks his chicken properly. It's a real problem.
I have not met them, but I was worried when I was watching Frog that I'd get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad just to make sure you cook your frog,
Or that I would meet him, not that I'd get it.
Okay. Well, either way, make sure you cook your frog. That's as a friend, I'm just telling you that.
Mm-hmm. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh. And then my Irish friend, his name's Alopecia.
Hey, his name's my name too.
Yeah. Hey, how about that? And this guy, he kind of weirdo. He shaves his whole body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then we got
and can't stand the sun.
We got Lou Puss, and he loves the TV show House. He won't stop talking about it.
He never gets a cameo on it though.
No, I know. I mean, he was in talking with Lou
Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, that's the one. Anyways,
looks like you know him too. You know my friend.
Yep. And then there's my buddy Edward Coli, and he goes by E. coli. Something about broccoli undercooked. And then my Italian friend, Melatonin.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I met them. Looks like we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah, it is. Crazy about sleep, this guy.
Yeah. Yep.
And I forgot to be doing this. Have you met Terabithia?
No.
She's really like a bridge built to her.
Oh, wow. All right.
Have you met Halitosis, another Irish friend?
I have met.
Yeah. Have you noticed his bad breath? Bad breath.
That's hard. I mean, that's why I remember him.
Yeah, I mean, bad breath sticks in your mind.
And in your mouth.
That's very true. Quit kissing hell, man.
Yep.
Anyways, that was it.
All right. Well, I think the only thing left right now is Kalima, choose your death. So
I forgot about this. Hit me.
I like looking through all these. I feel like there's a lot of options, and I know that's confusing sometimes for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like to give you the option. I can read a list.
What a guy.
Or I can just give you the deal of the day, which is that we just watch Armageddon with Billy Bob Thornton.
Welcome to Two Boys One Podcast, by the way. Armageddon, huh? I mean, we've both seen it.
That's true. All right, so that's ineligible receiver downfield. Well, I'll read the list.
Yeah.
Billy Bob Thornton, who played the estranged husband and unfortunate dead person, was in Sling Blade.
He didn't make it, guys.
He didn't. Baytown Outlaws, Jane Mansfield's Car. Ed Gale, who played Bob, my favorite character, is in a film called Tiptoes with McConaughey, Beckinsale, and Dinklage. And he's also in a film called Howard the Duck, which I assume is about a duck named Howard.
Mm-hmm.
Don Calfa, who played Willem, is in a film that no one's ever heard of. Leeson Naff is in a film called Lethal Weapon 1. And Clan of the Cave Bear. She played TC. And then Craig Stark is in a film with Sam Raimi called Intruder.
Sam Raimi is an actor?
He's an actor.
Get out of town.
Get out of town. I know where it's going, but our Dan Calfin, little-known film that no one's ever heard of, is Return of the Living Dead.
Huh. Sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Did you say something about a Stark?
I probably did.
Seems familiar for some reason. Who's this, Peter Dinklage?
Craig Stark is in Intruder. He played the mechanic. Dinklage is in Tiptoes with
who's this guy?
McConaughey.
Who's this guy?
McConaughey, Beckinsale, and Dinklage.
Who's this?
Who is not a Stark?
Who's Stark Dinklage? What do you know about this Dinklage character?
He's a very successful actor.
Yeah, what's he been in?
The the way station?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah.
What's that one called? What am I thinking of?
One with the trains and stuff?
No. What's
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's trains.
Station Agent. The Station Agent.
Yeah, with trains?
He's in that. He's in Elf. He's in a TV show you don't watch. All good things.
What's this TV show?
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Game of what?
Mm-hmm.
Gamma? This show about the Hulk?
Traumatrons.
I don't know what you're talking about. You're out of your mind. I thought I knew you.
Don't start with me, babe.
Hey, turning it back around on me. I think I have seen Clan of the Cave Bear. I have unfortunately seen Return of the Living Dead. Everyone, you watch that if you've not seen it.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, I know you haven't, but I'm pretty sure. I feel like I could give you Return of the Living Dead, but you can't give me Return of the Living Dead. The way our rules work on this, I think if I was offering it to you and you hadn't seen it, it'd be okay. But you offering it to me, I think, disqualifies it, unfortunately, because it is one of my favorites.
Well, I'm not aware of that rule until presently, so it's up to you. If you want to watch that one, I'm down for watching it. Otherwise,
it's
you want
so
to pick
good.
from that other
It's
list
so
of
good.
9.
Look, I'm going to throw you a bone. Do you like bones?
I do.
You can suck the marrow out of there and
Meat.
fly over here. No, you want the marrow.
I want the marrow.
Oh.
I'm 4 flaps away from the marrow.
We'll watch Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know. He's happy. Probably shocking to a lot of people. I have never seen Lethal Weapon.
I am shocked. I think you're going to dig it. It's written by Shane Black.
I don't know who that is.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He wrote Nice Guys.
No. Don't know what
He
you're
also
talking
wrote
about.
that film that we talked about
Yeah.
when we watched They Live. He wrote a script that he was going to try and make with Carpenter called Shadow Warriors, I think is what it's called, about zombies that come back as a unit from Vietnam. And
I
people
remember you talking about that, but this
Yeah.
Shane Black guy, I think you're making that up too.
You're out of your mind.
I know you're out of your. Don't cross me, babe.
But we're watching
Don't cross
Lethal
me,
Weapon
babe.
1. It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It's on my 12 Days of Die Hard list. 'Tis the season,
So what do we
bitch.
got? We got Die Hard 1, Die Hard 2, When Harry Met Sally, Die Hard 4, Lethal Weapons. The Lethal Weapon isn't like the. What are you laughing about?
Because you put in When Harry Met Sally in my Christmas list.
Yeah, it's on it.
Anyway.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
Lethal Weapon's not the... Yeah, that is the one. That's
It's funny, I say that all the time, even though I've never seen the movie. I know that.
That's perfect.
Getting too old for this shit.
I love it.
I love you.
Yes.
Zeke.
I love you back. I think you're going to like Lethal Weapon 1. But I would totally watch Return of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, maybe we can do like a special Halloween something. Because,
yeah, that's a good call.
I guess I haven't ever told you this, but I do my own... I guess it'd be the analogy to your 12 Days of Die. What, Christmas? Whatever the hell. You're going to watch Harry Met Sally, okay? I do a Halloween horror fest. I try to watch one every day.
Oh, sweet.
I probably get...
For the month of October? Or?
Yeah, I do my best. It usually ends up being somewhere in the 20s, but...
Nice.
Yeah, so, I don't know. Maybe we can do something with that.
I look forward to it. Yeah, now's the month to do it.
Tis the season, huh?
'Tis the season.
Maybe I'll watch When Harry Met Sally, because that's scary.
Well, we do have that Black Christmas one we have left over as well.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Maybe we can do something.
We'll talk.
We'll talk.
You want to talk off air? Are we friends? Do you want to talk?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. Okay.
Yeah. All right, but be sure to check out our special edition about the film festival, where you get to learn a little bit about some local filmmakers from the Midwest, as well as what they're doing with their podcasts. And we'll be back shortly to talk Lethal Weapon with you.
Zeke totally cut out during that last little bit, so I don't know what he said, but do what he said, because I'm going to be real upset. Cousin Pants, you do what he said, okay?
He will.
Okay, you make sure.
I will.
Thanks for listening, you guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
The portions of today's broadcast that you actually enjoyed are brought to you in whole by...
Step right up, get your taters here.
That's a little aggressive for a farmer's market, isn't it?
Sales a sale, dollars a dollar, bub. You interested?
What is it that I'm looking at?
Taters.
Taters?
Potatoes.
They don't look like potatoes. They look like dildos.
They're supposed to.
Why?
It's a gimmick, but they're delicious. Have you ever eaten a dictator before?
No!
You'll be hooked.
I heard your pitch. Time for me to be moving on.
After all the work I did making these, you're just gonna walk away?
Yes.
I dropped trowel and plowed the field by dragging my appendage through the mud, cultivated the ground and planted my seed in a mesh mold.
Your seed? What have you done?
Just a seed. Why? What did you hear?
Nope. I'm out.
Come on, pal. Just a tip. Get over here and try our dictators today. Stop by our booth for a taste of our new Pekka pickles.
I'd buy that.
Yeah.